Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Raw Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling action from Monday Night Raw, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode number 2208 of the show. It is April 28, 2025, 11:08 p.m. It's going to be the final video for the day. Until tomorrow, I do more episodes of the show. Because we got tomorrow we got High Rollers, we got NXT, very excited. Very excited about the whole bit and everything else. And on this episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is brought to you by WWE's Frosted Yeets, where every bite makes you yell, yeet! And make breakfast your main event. Frosted Yeets. Okay, I had to do that. I thought that was pretty funny. We get a little funny plug for it, it's... I reckon, even though I haven't tasted the cereal yet, it looks good, and it seems good. It looks good, so pick up a box, or if you're saving it for a souvenir. So yeah, it's a rarity, We got Bootios, and I got Frosted Yeets now. So, unbelievable. So, we got Frosted Yeets. Anyways, kicking off Monday Night Raw, this would be the Backlash. The Backlash has started, ladies and gentlemen. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman kick off Raw, addresses the Kansas City crowd about the future of the WWE belonging to them. Sami Zayn comes out and says, you know what, from a friend, what you're doing is a whole load of crap right now. And Sami Zayn felt like it's kind of reminding them of the bloodline. And so he says, you have a decision. Are you for us or against us? You're going to need a decision towards the end of the night. So there's that. And then women's action kicks off Monday Night Raw as Rhea Ripley goes one-on-one with the lovely Roxanne Perez. Both lovely ladies, actually. And then Julia comes out at ringside and gets involved during the matchup, giving Ripley the win by disqualification. The Io Sky is coming out and fights with Perez and Julia, and Rhea Ripley comes back to even up the odds. It seems like a women's tag team matchup would not be very far enough. Or it could be a women's fatal four-way match for the women's world title. But imagine Io Sky and Julia going at it once again. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an... speaking of the women's division, as you know, Natalia's been part of Raw for quite a while. And also now that she will be challenging Kenzie Page for the NWA Women's Championship. You heard that right. I'm going to go back to Twitter, and I believe it's in May, in the Crockett Cup. It seems like EO's got a response. She says she will take care of them tomorrow on NXT. Looks like Miss EO Sky is going to pay a visit to her old stomping grounds. And I believe, so... Anyways, let's see. So let me find NWA for just a second here. There we go. So, and it got to because here's how this match. And now you just cut a promo about Kenzie Page. I've never been, been more free. I've never been more ready to rip someone's head off. So May the 17th, this will happen as the, So May the 17th, Crockett Cup. It'll be Kenzie Page defending the NWA Women's World Title against Natalya. See, and it's the first time, Natalya's crossing over. And we'll see if she returns to the WWE with the Burke. If that's the case, there'll be more eyes on the NWA. I think that's the ultimate goal. And I know Billy Corgan's known Triple H's deputy for quite a while now. So hopefully this working relationship does work out. I mean, it's best for business I'm sure Triple H is firing all cylinders for it. So we'll see what happens there in that women's division. The Judgment Day was talking, and J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor did talk a little bit. And and then Logan Paul, that Beavis-looking butthead, Bryce Harper on crack. That's an insult to Bryce. He looks like McJugger Nuggets on crack, if you ask me. That would be Logan Paul. Can't stand the guy at all, and he's part of my Lima Don't Play That list, along with The Miz. He's another dude. And Jey Uso, and then Logan Paul thinks of challenging Jey Uso for the world title. Jey Uso come out, and that makes me shake my Frosted Yeats box. You know, hey, Logan Paul never had one of these in his life, so just because I'm a YouTuber, I want a cereal named after me. Yay! No, Jey Uso earned this. All right, he comes out. He says, no way, you want the world heavyweight title, full stop, and everything else. And then Logan Paul keeps running his mouth. What does Jey Uso did? Super kicked him. Yeet. But, so, tag team matchup, War Raiders versus J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor. But then Carlito gets involved in the matchup, but Penta stops him and stops J.D. McDonough. And causing the matchup, and the War Raiders, thanks to Penta, won the matchup. New Jay joining on commentary during the match, running their mouths as usual. Oh, we dropped Big E, he's dead weight. Big E was your powerhouse. I mean, for him, you wouldn't be tag team champions. But you're now being tag team champions, the way you act, New Day. And Otis was talking to Sami Zayn, and, but Heyman interrupts them and tells Otis, I need to talk with Sami Zayn. He says, if you go to SmackDown, you may face the winner of the Cena-Orton match for the championship. Think about it. And then Braun Breaker kind of overhears the convo. Meanwhile, in attendance, ESPN's MLB insider Jeff Passan, I've seen his tweets many times about baseball, and actor Ryan Blaney were there. And Becky Lynch comes out to address the Kansas City crowd, and she explains why she attacked Lyra Valkyria. But first she revealed that she was the one that attacked Bayley. And I will not be surprised if Bayley comes back with a vengeance. And then Lyra Valkyria, she tells Lyra Valkyria Bayley's bad, can't trust her. And then Lyra Valkyria came out and says when she made up the main roster, she said, a lot of people told me not to trust you, and I was blinded by everything. And then she goes, I know you don't want to fight me here in and she said, I don't want to fight. She's challenging to a matchup. Is I'm not going to fight here in Kansas City. Becky says, I had a feeling you might say that, but I'll tell you what, you and me, Backlash. And you know what? If you want to get in the ring with me, you want me to put my women's Intercontinental title on the line. That's going to happen. You got it. So the women's Intercontinental title will be on the line in Backlash as Lyra Valkyria defends it against Becky Lynch. So there's that. And then Lyra Valkyria, after her and Lynch started arguing, she attacked Lynch, but Lynch retreats. And then as Lyra Valkyria was triumphant in that little brawl, Lynch blindsides her from behind. Nick Aldis was talking to Penta, and he says, and decided to give Penta a match next week. And Nick Aldis is filling in for Adam Pearce, who was not medically cleared. I don't know if it was the incident with Gunther that he got injured by. I don't know how, but he said Nick Aldis is taking over, and So Penta said, and Nick Aldis told Penta next week you get J.D. McDonough, and he says, I'm ready for this. And then Chad Gable interrupts and taunts Penta as he was getting Ivy now ready for her match against Stephanie Vaquer, the NXT Women's Champion. And he said, you know what? You know my favorite Mania moment is not when El Grande Americano, when you lost. No, it was when your pathetic brother got lost to El Grande Americano. We all know El Grande Americano is Chad Gable. I would have grabbed Chad Gable, but I thought it was a listen, boy. You tell these people that you're El Grande Americano, or you're going to find out the hard way what happens when you step in the ring with me. Again, somebody should knock him out with chloroform, get him into El Grande Americano, get into the ring, yank his mask off. It's Chad Gable. Come on, Chad Gable is not fooling anybody. And if Chad Gable keeps running his mouth, maybe the Lucha Bros may end up reuniting and start kicking the Creed's butts, and then go after those World Tag Team titles against the New Day. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, and then Penta decided to respond with a kick to Gable's stomach. And he goes, Cerdo, and calls him a pendejo. And I was like, okay. And Rusev cut a promo on the Raw roster, and his first matchup will be against Otis. So that's going to be a matchup. Big, meaty men slapping meat once again. Then the NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer took on Ivy Nile in a non-title matchup, and Stephanie Vaquer did pick up the victory over Ivy Nile. Nick Aldis was talking to AJ Styles as Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez interrupts them, and then Liv Morgan says she's going to some kind of movie premiere or something like that, and she goes, and then Dominic Mysterio wants some time off, and he said request denied. You're the Intercontinental Champion. I'll tell you who what right now. Dominic Mysterio is about to learn the hard way. When you're the Intercontinental Champ, you are a huge target. As far as Liv and Raquel goes, if they want some time off, Liv wants some time off, send the Kabuki Warriors back and beat those two for the women's tag team titles. Meanwhile, Karrion Kross talking to Sami Zayn convinces him to make a decision about what Seth Rollins told him. And then Pat McAfee says he's got to address the incident with Gunther. He says some motivational things and all that. He probably was out of pocket with some of the things, but he calls out Nick Aldis. And so wants to fight Gunther. He doesn't like the fact that Gunther's suspended. He wants to put his hands on Gunther. Nick Aldis says, I can't grant you that unless, and he proposed this, a match at Backlash. And then Pat McAfee says, fine. So there's that. And Jey Uso talked to Sami Zayn. You make a decision what's best for you. And then they hugged each other in the end. And then Logan Paul decided to knock out Jey Uso from behind, and he mocked him. Yeet. I'll tell you what. Unless you have a cereal like this, Logan Paul, you're never going to make it in the real world, man. Let me tell you. Logan Paul, you suck, bro. I don't care. You're an overrated YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber, but I'm not going to be acting as arrogant as you are. You know, I would never forget my humble beginnings, dude. Seriously, you're a jack off. Logan Paul's a jack off. Then Seth Rollins wants an answer from Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out of the ring, was convinced. He's like, I know your games. I know you were trying to do, and he basically can go to hell. And then they had the matchup when Braun Breaker came out. The matchup, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Zayn was in his street pants, but Braun Breaker won by referee stoppage after he speared Sami Zayn outside the ring, pushed him in the ring. And then that's after Rollins tells him to finish him. And then in the end, when Sami Zayn was about to get up, Rollins curb stomps him. So Breaker won by referee stoppage. And as we get into a little nasty question is, where was Roman? Where was CM Punk? Only a matter of time, really. So, alright, so that is all the time we have on this episode, episode 2208 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. As you know, tomorrow will be High Rollers, and we got NXT. That's right, NXT. We know the Women's World Champ Io Sky is going to be there. Looks like a grudge against Julia and Roxanne Perez. So Stephanie McCare may have a new ally or allies in Rhea Ripley and Io Sky when it's all said and done. But remember, Io Sky is the Women's World Champion, mind you, so anything can happen at that rate. So we have a couple of title matches at Backlash. The WWE Championship on the line. John Cena, Randy Orton. We have Pat McAfee versus Gunther one-on-one. We also, the Women's Intercontinental title will be up for grabs. Lyra Valkyria will defend the gold against Becky Lynch. So this is going to be heck of a deal. We'll see if any more matches come out of Backlash. We'll find out this Friday night on SmackDown. But until the next episode comes, this Friday night at SmackDown is The Rock's birthday, May 2nd. Wonder if he can make an appearance. I don't know. So, that's all the time we have on this episode. And I will see you later tomorrow. As we go on with High Rollers and NXT. So, that's it for now. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.